What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Halcyon 6. My name is Splattercat, happy to have you here today as we hang out. So I'm a little bit behind the curve. I've actually been playing multiple campaigns in the background, kind of learning the game and how it functions now that we've gotten our little blind section done. And we're a little bit slow right now. I need to be playing faster. I've taken a look at the situation and where we're currently sitting, and we should probably step this up a little bit. Now, what I'll more than likely do is we've got some level ups to do. Backstab maneuver's pretty good. Fire at will is alright. What else do I have in here? Phaser blast would be okay. Point blank is pretty good, especially if you're rolling with a medic everywhere. I'm not going to worry about ground abilities for right now, though. Let's go with backstab maneuver 2. If your tactical guy does not have backstab maneuver, I've actually found out that he is quite a bit less useful. I really like backstab maneuver. It gives you a tactical option when you really need one. So anyways, that's all taken care of and done. Let's have a look at our... Let's see here. Death from above, broadside salvo, quick tune-up. What does that do? It repairs your own damage. Repairs an additional 350% base damage over 3 rounds, and it can be used 4 times on yourself. Well, I'm going to go with that one then. That sounds alright. That definitely sounds alright. Activate nano repairs. I think it's a ground ability, as I recall. I don't think that's a... Yeah, it's a ground ability. So some kind of heal on this character would actually be a really good thing. So we'll go level 3 right there. Quick tune-up, we will definitely take that up the chain, and then in addition, that puts hull breach on yourself, but it inflicts disable and exploits crew panic. Okay, and then that one gives vulnerable to yourself. Does a lot of damage, though, and inflicts hull breach, which is kind of useful. I don't know. A lot of the attacks that engineers have are somewhat suicidal, where they cause a lot of damage to your own ship, but at the same time, they do even more damage to the enemy. And while I'm not a huge fan of stacking damage on myself, that's my enemy's job. If my enemy is not damaging me, I don't see why I need to pick up his slack, that lazy alien Xeno bastard, and damage myself for him. I think death from above is probably more useful, just because the ability to stun an enemy does become useful from time to time. Time after time! Let's jump into ship management. I'm going to repair all my busted-ass ships. They're not home yet. Shit. Okay, so we gotta bring them home first. Let's go ahead and do that. They're headed back home. We've got an alien incursion right there that needs to be taken care of, like, right now. And until we deal with that, we're going to have a very rough Christmas. Let's repair our ship, and we need to knock out one of the warp gates. That's the other part, is that one of the warp gates needs to die, because we have too many enemies flooding into our system right now. And I'm not a big fan of flooding. I didn't bring my waders, so unfortunately, yeah, let's repair all, and then we'll launch. Hopefully they don't wipe out our colony system over here. That's one of our recruitment worlds, and it's very important to us. At least that's what we tell them. Corbin Lau. While traveling, we found 8 crew stranded in space. Hooray. Got squatted up. Back into combat with an adult basher and an adult clipper. I'm going to start out with uploading a virus, seeing if I can hurt their accuracy a little bit, and also lining myself up to deal some damage with harassment. Backstab maneuver might also not be a terrible idea, but I'm going to save it for a little while later. So there it is, 183 damage straight away. I'd like to try out Death from Above. Let's try Death from Above and see how that goes. Okay, so we resisted our own damage and we managed to stun him, which is a very good thing. Ablative Field, Siphon Dark Matter. Let's go ahead and put that in right there. I want this guy to tick down health as quickly as possible. In general, I tend to focus on these dudes first, these clippers. I think the clippers are dangerous. They do a lot of damage and they have a really good chance to crit. We're going to put a... engine, does he have... Oh, he does not. Did he resist it? I think he must have resisted it. Yes, he did. Okay, so he resisted it. I thought he had engines down on him, but he does not. Let's go with deconstruct then. I'd like to see a hull breach on that one. And so there's our hull breach. We're going to exploit that with the assault cannon or the portal cannon. Perfectly well done. We'll fire another shot. He still managed to resist our nasty damage. It's very unfortunate. Finish him off with the portal gun. He's going to go down. And actually, if I can time this just right, let's go ahead and shock mine him to get him stunned and taken care of. And if I can time this right, what I'd like to do is I'd like to make it so that he could cauterize himself so that going into the next fight, we won't actually have to go home. That's what I prefer. His engines are down, which means a flak burst should do superior damage. Happy to see it. We will continue. You know, this would have been the perfect time for a supercharge, too. Go ahead and supercharge. Weapons are supercharged. He's going to come out of his stun very shortly, but it's not going to matter. We're going to upload a virus. Ah, didn't stick. Okay. I was hoping I would lower his accuracy so that if he took a shot at me, it wouldn't be quite so bad. Instead, we will go with a deconstruct. Let's get a hull breach running here. And now that he's got a hull breach, he can't be stunned for another turn or two. I'm going to... You know what, just fire some missiles at him. 200 damage right there. He's going to fire back, though, which is really unfortunate. And he's going to get a crit, so that was all kinds of trouble for us. The heal is off, though. The heal is off. We're going to go ahead and harass him. And then it should be our engineer's turn to fire a flak barrage, which will eat up the engines down and actually do a huge amount of damage. Good, that's what I like to see. I will finish off. A little portal damage right there. Sounds good. 121 damage to that side. Unfortunately, that means that I'm going to have to go back to base before we attack a portal because it's just not... I can't start with low health like that going in. Alright, we will leave the system. I would like you guys to return home. We will find somebody else to mess with in just a moment. Oh man, they're sending out... Yeah, we're way behind the curve right now. We are extremely behind the curve. Let's go with... Spin maneuver is pretty good. Ablative Field 2. What does Ablative Field 2 do? So that one's 35%. My guess is maybe that one's 50%. I'm going to go with it. So these are smaller fleets going out. Let me see what I can do here. We really need to knock out one of these portals. I can deal with one portal, but not two. And we're so far into the game in this playthrough that I just didn't know what I was doing. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to send a fleet. And this might not go well. It's really, really hard to tell whether or not this is going to be successful. But we shall see. Now, this fight is going to be based on RNG a lot of the way. Like, we can only do so much with our attack damage and whatnot in order to make sure that this goes well. If they get a string of crits or anything like that, it's very possible to lose this fight and just kind of have a rough day. It looks like they're traveling a long distance, so we should have time to finish this off. These Krull appear to be keeping the portal open. If defeated, the portal will collapse upon itself, okay? Let's do it. We're going to start with the softest member of their squad. Sensors are offline for 2 of their DPSers. I'm glad to see it. On this side, we are going to start off... Actually, no. We're going to start off with a backstab maneuver right here to keep him up and out of combat if we can. So his ship has been disabled. Very, very nice. No crit right there. Happy to see it. On this side, we got death from above. Let's get started with deconstruct. I would like this ship to have a very, very rough day. We'll go with a portal gun right there. Shot out, but he missed. Very, very nice. Second shot managed to land. I am going to fire out. Death from above does not do huge amounts of damage. Let's get another deconstruct rocking. I like it when their health ticks down over time. I'm going to put an ablative field up on himself because I want to see what that does for my protection rating. 42.5% damage resistance, so that's not bad. We'll go ahead and try and open up an engine breach right there, but it did not work for us. That's very, very unfortunate because I was hoping it would. Go ahead and hit him with the portal gun and we'll hope for a crit over there. And then on this side, we will get them with a... just flat gun him. Hope for a crit maybe or something like that. We're not really set up to do a ton of damage right now. He's resisted once again, unfortunately. My hull has been breached on that side and they've exploited it very, very aggressively. Let's go ahead and get some heals running off. That's what I'm talking about right there, is if they just run a couple crits in a row, it's like GG for you. I definitely need to see one of these guys go down, though. Let's go ahead and harass him. That's one ship down. So we're moving along right now. For you, I need to cauterize yourself. We're going through our heals very, very rapidly. There's always a chance when fighting against one of these portal shutages that you're going to end up... There we go. We've disabled that ship now, too, which is great. There's always a chance... Wow, they are really, really resisting today. We are not having good luck. Sensors are offline on both ships, which is fantastic to see. I am going to backstab maneuver him. I would prefer to keep them both stun locked if at all possible. I'm going to have him run quick tune-up on himself. Take a little bit of the healing stress off the remainder of our fleet. On this side, we will consider strongly cauterizing yourself. Bad rolls on the... it's unfortunate. Then we'll roll ablative field. Because he's set up for a really, really big hit. On this side, we will continue to DPS against some of the smaller enemies. We may lose a ship on this one, though. It's possible. I will go with a shot over here. Oh, I messed up. Wow, their resistances are really messing with us right now. We are not having good luck along that line of reasoning. Let's go ahead and get a hull breach opened up so that he's taking more and more damage. Oh, he missed. He evaded a swarm. He's evading all kinds of things right now. Then again, his weapons are disrupted. There we go. Finally got his engines down. Let's go ahead and open up on him with the flat cannon. That's 126. Perfect. That was the exploitation that I was waiting for. Let's siphon some dark matter over here. So the crew is now panicked. That means he can no longer evade, and he's taking quite a bit of damage every single time he does anything. Let's also mess up his engines to lower his speed. Maybe make his life a little bit more miserable by hitting him with a flat gun. 127 out. Upload a virus again to keep the sensors offline on as many things as we can. And as soon as it's back up, we're going to try backstab maneuver, but it's not ready right now. I don't really have much to exploit here, so I just got to set him up for the flat gun. Weapons are disabled on that craft. I say we portal gun him and just hope for the best. On this side, I'm going to fling out... Actually, let's go in for the kill. Perfect. He's taken care of. That leaves us with this big bastard to deal with. We're going to backstab maneuver him, and every single time it's available, we're going to try and keep him stunned up. Oh, he resisted it. Okay. Very sneaky, sis. Nice evade right there. They got lucky with a lot of their attacks, but we also got lucky with a lot of our evades. And so it's not quite so bad as it could have gone. It could have gone a lot worse, believe me. I've actually almost lost this fight before just because sometimes you get strings of crits that are just like, well, I guess I got critted today. Run a repair on yourself because I don't really have the resources to be constantly tuning up my ship. We'll go, since the engine's already down, fire out some harassment, and then we will clear the engine disabled with a flat cannon blast. On this side, we'll siphon dark matter. Perfect. Filthy Xeno scum. Yeah, so he should be repairing over time. We've actually got really, really good vehicles in this playthrough. In the other playthroughs that I have, my rerolls didn't go so well when I was trying to get my officers, and I just kind of have bad abilities, and there's not really a whole lot I can do about it. Whereas this playthrough, we have pretty good abilities on all of our ships, and so I'm feeling really confident about our chances at taking out the enemies. So we've won. There it is. Commander, it seems that the portal at our fleet's location dissipated as soon as we destroyed the Krull contingent guarding it. There won't be any more Krull coming from this sector. Fantastic, and so there we go. We've completed our objective. Now what I really need to do is send these guys home because we have invasion fleets going out, and we need to handle these both. Let's go ahead and sit down right here. We will repair all of our ships. Perfect. Those are all done. Nobody level... Oh, no, we do have a level up. For this level up, I would more than likely take... A second death from above would be cool, but actually quick tune-up. I found that heal abilities in this game are really, really, really hard to come by, and if you have some, luckily enough, on your officers, you should really, really use those, because they'll allow you to last many, many more turns than you would have otherwise. The only complaint I have about this game right now is actually that the frame rate is locked to 30. That's the only thing that bugs me about this game, but aside from that, pretty solid little game. Let's take out the closest fleet first, and actually, now that we've got some resources, we've got 900 materials and 1,500 there, we should also see if maybe there's something we can accomplish down in here before we go any further. So repair cost reductions, officer academy. What is it gonna cost me to get a tier 2... Where's my research menu here? So, Starship Hangar Tier 2, 1,800 materials and 1,200 dark matter. Okay. Sounds alright to me. And it seems like it's manageable. So I say let's go for it. How is our power situation looking? We're at 73 out of 100. That's fine. That's great. We've got guys at level 4 who can go into there. We can also knock off these two little areas last. Was there I think there was a monster at one of those, but oh well. Let's send out the fleets. You really kind of want to be multitasking and working on as many things as possible while you do stuff. You don't want to waste your own time. So we'll launch this fleet out to save our fuel reserves. This should be a pretty rudimentary fight. I'm not that concerned about it. We'll get this guy started with a nice little siphon in case any damage goes out. He resisted the secondary status effects, but what are you going to do about it? I'm going to fire a missile at him. His engines are now down. We're going to catch him with a flak blast. It did not crit hard enough for us to get the kill. So we'll have to finish him off with the portal gun. And there it is. One enemy down. You do get bonuses every now and again when you go through combat and you get to certain tiers where you'll get supplementary crew that actually help you out and make your crew stronger. So for example, you'll get somebody like a targeting specialist. And if you get a targeting specialist, he'll make it so that your accuracy goes up and the enemy is less likely to duck out of the way of your shots. You can get people who are master pilots and things like that. You can get all kinds of random things that add on to your fleet. No status effect there. I'm thinking they must have patched in the last day or two, because it seems like status effects aren't sticking so great today. Go ahead and patch up his hull, please. Although he could have patched himself. It's not really that big of a deal. Give yourself a tune-up, amigo. There you go. Clear off those status effects. We need to save the cauterizers for other ships. Continue firing. And for you, let's go ahead and upload virus. Sensors are offline for the ship that I was worried about, so that's good. I will make a play on the second portal as well as soon as possible, but we'll see when that lines up. Getting all portals closed should give us a little bit of breathing room so that we can deal with the pirates. I'll tell you once again, we are behind the curve right now as far as the pacing of the game is concerned. I was a little bit slow on the uptake when I started out, and so it's going to be important that we get some of these things done as rapidly as possible. We're playing catch-up right now. Luckily, I did the right thing as far as the game was concerned when it came to building ships, getting crew ready, and everything like that. So it's not quite so bad, but we will need to do a little catching up. I'm going to go ahead and harass this guy since his sensors are down. There's 180 damage out. We'll get him with the portal gun. I should have siphoned, actually. Siphon would have been smarter. Portal gun. And flat cannon. Kill. There it is. A nice little crit right there to take out our final enemies. So a single enemy fleet has been eliminated. With the time that we have, we gained a Krull hater. I don't like them one bit, and it's on Tesla's ship. Damage bonus versus Krull is up 10%. We got a pro gamer who is now on Talon Ford's ship. All those years playing games paid off. Our aim is up by 5%. Transfer fuel to the fleet because we're here anyways, and it's not that big of a deal. We will return home for repairs. We got reputation gained. I don't really know what that means. It was in my other playthroughs too, but I wasn't sure exactly what it entailed to have reputation gain. I assume that it's a good thing. And then finally, we've got to go out to here. We'll try and make this into a full sweep too so that we grab some of the materials that are laying around. I'm going to try and unlock some of the mines that are over here so that we can do a big sweep and get a bunch of materials and maybe make our lives a little bit easier. But for now, send out the defense fleet once more and hope that pirates don't attack anytime soon. Pirates are attacking right now. Understood. Commander, a raider fleet is bombarding the station. We should send a fleet to defeat them as soon as possible. Okay. I'll do that in a moment. Thank you. We are just harassed by threats at every side, aren't we? We are just covered in threats. Sensors are offline for the top guy right here. That's good, because that's who I'm going after first. Backstab maneuver. Let's keep him out of combat for as long as possible. Ship is disabled. On this one, we'll go ahead and disable that one too. Ship is disabled, so their entire team is stunned right now. Let's line up some siphons. Okay. His sensors are down. I kind of wish this ship had Harpoon, but it doesn't. Harpoon is really, really badass. Does he have 2 ship disables? Oh, that's badass. Okay, that's really, really good. I suppose we'll just open fire on him then. Oh, somebody woke up. Let's go ahead and harass him while his sensors are about to expire. A little bit of damage done right there, but nothing that I'm actively concerned about. We'll go ahead and get him ready. By the time his empowered systems run out, we should be able to get him started with a few more stuns. I'm going to run an engines down right there. So he's got engines down. He's bleeding out. He's got problems on top of problems. I'm going to cauterize my own walls right there because I wanted to save on repair costs. And on this side, he still cannot be stunned for a little bit. So let's just eat up that engines down by hitting them with a flat cannon. How about that? I do wish the status effects stayed on. Like, you consume them when you fire off an ability. It just seems odd. Like, I don't know. I'm assuming that it was just too easy to basically find a group with synergy. So, for example, this ship and 2 of these guys, and then you would put that on them, and both these guys would just spam flat guns on them until they died. It might have trivialized the content. But aside from that, I don't know. Maybe it just kind of... I don't like that it eats up your debuff when you decide to exploit, I guess. Especially since sometimes your guys don't really have an ability to use, and you want to keep something like Hull Breach on the enemy so that they're ticking off health every single turn. Because, see, he's bleeding out pretty well right now between all of his various status effects, and I'd like to keep it that way. That's not to say the exploits aren't worth it, but sometimes the damage you get, for example, exploiting with the portal gun, it doesn't do nearly as much damage as just letting the Hull Breach run its course, like 85 damage, 100 on an exploit, you know? It's not that great. Let's go ahead and siphon off of him. Excelente. Flat gun is away, and then we should be able to finish him off with a harassment right here. Perfect. One less ship to deal with. We'll fly back. We'll deal with the pirates, and that'll be a productive little day for us. Take the Dark Fleet. Or, I'm sorry, the Dark Stow, or the Dark Matter. Send a fleet over to there. We'll redirect them. Massive bio readings emanate from in and around New Terra, with the Krull likely using the former capital as a kind of spawning ground. Our sensors suggest that the Krull have a strong fleet presence as well. Upgrading our fleet to handle the threat there would be prudent. At first, you will need to construct a Tier 2 ship hangar, then build at least one Tier 2 ship before dispatching the fleet. Acknowledged. Just trying to do one thing at a time right now. We are playing a serious game of catch-up, but the fact that we knocked out... That's not a terrible pirate fleet, actually. That's a pretty good fleet. They're dealing damage right now, so we kind of need to fix that. Alright, we'll start this combat, and this will more than likely be the last thing that we accomplish here today. I'm going to set up a... Just knock their sensors out, I guess. Sensors are offline. Good, fantastic. Spray and Pray is out. Ooh, for 106. Good lord. Okay, I think crits in this game are 3 times damage. They seem to hurt a lot. Like, I've had attacks that normally do like 20 damage, do like 120 when they crit, so I'm assuming crits are pretty powerful. Let's go ahead and start disabling some ships here so that they can't dodge or do anything else. We'll set up siphons so that we can get a little bit of health. It'd probably be smarter to put the siphon on him. Such is life. Got a good evasion right there, I'm glad. Let's flat gun one of these guys. We need to limit the amount of damage that we're going to be taking. On this side, we need to cauterize. Obviously, I'll try to run Dark Matter on the bigger ship a little bit later. I'll have him fix himself pretty soon, too. These little shivs, they're so good at ducking you. Then again, we're pretty good at ducking him, and that attack looked like it would probably hurt had it connected. Just portal cannon the little guy, I guess. Or don't. That's cool. I'm going with some heals. I'm going to go for a backstab maneuver on the big ship on the Buccaneer. So that's a ship disabled right there. We will continue to attempt to fire on the little ship while he's getting back up and away. Flat gun should be good enough. I don't think we have to upgrade our bombardment at all in order to make sure he goes down. His evasion is quite good, though. He's doing a really, really good job at avoiding us and just being a hassle. Perfect, and we don't have weapons disabled or anything. He's just doing that all on his lonesome. Sensors are now disabled, which means that his accuracy should be down considerably. Not going to matter because I'm going to expend it on harassment to knock his HP down a grip. Probably should not have done that, but Let's go ahead and siphon. Try and get his engines locked down so that we get more turns. I'm going to consume that with a shot right there. 115. Not the shot that I would have asked for, but still, it's a shot. Let's go ahead and cauterize the wound on the side of that ship. Good. Keep those engines nice and disabled. We could have fished out a kill right there, but actually I think his defense was a little too high. And I'm actually going to keep cauterizing his hull. He's taking considerable damage from each shot. A nasty amount of damage from each shot. He's still got empowered systems, yes. And our final crippling shot is going to remove him as a threat. So hopefully we pick up some specialists from this fight. We did not. Sometimes when you get in big like fleet duels, you actually pick up specialists and things like that. I think we should probably go after that fleet as well and see if we can get rid of it. These are elders, though, instead of being the adults. So we'll give it some thought. I'll ponder it in between episodes, and I'll see y'all next time. If you wanted to get the game for yourself, this is called Halcyon 6. It's a pretty fun little game. I do suggest it. I suggest it highly. I need to send a fleet out to go pick up some fuel. And then I'll see y'all next time. Bye, everybody.